everyone, my name is Ananya Pando. I will be providing you with an overview of our study published in AJR that aims to evaluate the utility of FDG PET MRI in CT tumor matrix for assessment of pathologic response and prediction of survival after neoadjuvant therapy in borderline resectable and locally advanced pancreatic cancer. My co-authors are listed here from Mayo Clinic, Minnesota. I would like to thank them, Dr. Ajit Goenka and AJR, for this opportunity. The intention of this video is to provide an overview of the key findings and the implications of these findings for clinical practice. The paper is available online on the AJR website. Incorporating PET MRI in the management of pancreatic cancer has been a substantial change in our practice, and I hope the findings presented here can be of relevance to your clinical practice too. As we know, neoadjuvant therapy is offered to patients with borderline resectable and locally advanced pancreatic cancer to increase the likelihood of negative margin resection and to treat the occult micrometastases that most of these patients have at initial presentation. It has been found that pathologic response to NRT correlates with overall survival. In fact, patients without major pathologic response to NRT tend to have disease relapse soon after surgery. However, at present, there is no reliable way to predict pathologic response before surgery. Being able to predict pathologic response is important because these patients can be taken up for curative surgery sooner. More importantly, those patients who are unlikely to have major pathologic response may be spared the unnecessary morbidities of these complicated resective surgeries. Thus, there is a need to identify biomarkers that can predict response to NRT in pancreatic cancer. The current standard of care for response assessment comprises of biochemical evaluation with CA19-9. Anatomic evaluation typically comprises of a change in the longest tumor diameter on CT and MRI based on RECIST criteria. It is hypothesized that changes in overall tumor volume may be better than diameter measurement. CT texture analysis could potentially be also used to quantify tumor heterogeneity and predict treatment response. Metabolic evaluation is also important because NRT acts on tumor biology rather than size. Treatment response is associated with decreased FDG metabolism as shown on prior PET-CT studies. So why PET MRI? PET MRI is a hybrid modality with simultaneous acquisition of PET and MR data, time of flight capability, and silicon photomultiplier tube detectors. This has the potential to further improve tumor response assessment. The MR component is particularly useful for detection and evaluation of subtle hepatic metastases that can preclude these patients from surgery. However, the utility of PET MRI for response to NRT in pancreatic cancer is not known. With this background, the aim of this study was to investigate the utility of metrics derived from PET MRI and CT for assessment of pathologic response and prediction of overall survival after NRT in patients with borderline resectable and locally advanced pancreatic cancer. This was a retrospective study where we identified treatment-naive patients with biopsy-confirmed borderline resectable and locally advanced pancreatic cancer who underwent PET MRI before and after NRT and prior to curative intent surgery. These patients had FDG average tumor defined as an SUV value equal to or greater than 4 at baseline. Available contrast-enhanced CTs within 2 weeks of PET MRI were also evaluated. CA19-9 was recorded at baseline and after NRT. In patients with elevated CA19-9, that is a value greater than 37 units per ml at baseline, Normalization of CA19-9 after NAT was considered as a biochemical surrogate of pathologic response. Pathologic response was based on College of American Pathologists CAP tumor scoring. Major pathologic response comprised of CAP score 0 and 1, that is no or minimal residual tumor cells. Limited pathologic response comprised of CAP score 2 and 3, that is presence of moderate to substantial number of residual tumor cells. The PET MRI protocol comprised of whole body PET and MRI survey with multiple bed position PET acquisition and 2-point distant MRI sequence for MRI attenuation correction and anatomic colocalization. This was followed by a dedicated abdominal PET MRI covering the liver and the pancreas in one bed position with respiratory gated PET and multiparametric MRI comprising of T2 weighted imaging, diffusion weighted imaging, and pre and post contrast T1 weighted imaging with arterial, portal venous, and delayed phases. The PET MRI image analysis was independently done by 3 readers blinded to all clinical and pathologic information. For both pre- and post-treatment PET MRI, the 3 readers evaluated FDG uptake in the pancreatic region qualitatively and semi-quantitatively on the whole body PET MRI survey using anatomic guidance from the contrast-enhanced MR component of PET MRI. Complete metabolic response was qualitatively defined as resolution of FDG uptake in the pancreatic region on the post-treatment PET MRI to an intensity below hepatic FDG uptake and indistinguishable from the background pancreatic parenchyma. Complete metabolic response was considered as a surrogate marker for major pathologic response. For semi-quantitative analysis, volumes of interest were drawn on the tumor independently by 3 readers on the baseline and the post-treatment scans to obtain the baseline and post-treatment SUV mass, SUV mean, total lesion glycolysis, and metabolic tumor volume. Glucose-corrected SUV mass of SUV group was defined as SUV mass normalized to the blood glucose level at the time of PET MRI. This is important because a lot of patients with pancreatic cancer tend to have hyperglycemia or elevated blood glucose levels. The relative change in tumor SUV mass and tumor SUV group from pre to post-treatment PET MRI was compared between pathologic responders and non-responders. We also evaluated the inter-reader agreement for complete metabolic response and semi-quantitative PET MR metrics. For CT image analysis, we obtained the longest tumor diameter and tumor volume on the portal venous page. Based on tumor diameter, the RECIST partial and complete response were considered as surrogate marker for major pathologic response. RECIST stable and progressive disease was considered as limited pathologic response. The relative change in tumor volume from pre to post-treatment CT was compared between pathologic responders and non-responders. CT texture analysis was performed on the pre-treatment CTs. The volumetric segmentation from the pre-treatment CTs were used and 100 radiomic features were evaluated between pathologic responders and non-responders using principal component analysis. The ROCs and the AUCs were obtained for significant variables. The relationship between these metrics with overall survival was also evaluated. So, our study cohort comprised of 44 patients with pre- and post-treatment PET MRI. 22 were men, 22 were women, 19 patients had major pathologic response, and 25 had limited pathologic response. CT RECIST and volumetric analysis was possible in 34 out of 44 patients, either because the tumor was not measurable at baseline or the post-treatment CT was not available. The pre-treatment CT tissue analysis was possible in 37 patients. Here, 99 analysis was possible in 29 patients, as the remaining 15 patients with pancreatic cancer did not have elevated CA19-9 at baseline. So, there was no difference in the baseline PET MRI, CT matrix, and CA19-9 in between patients with major pathologic response and limited pathologic response. Thus, patients in both response groups had comparable tumor and clinical characteristics at baseline. In terms of inter-reader agreement, the inter-reader agreement for SUV MASH in complete metabolic response was excellent, while agreement was fair to moderate for MTV and TIG. Reader 1 and Reader 2 had complete agreement for assessment of metabolic response. Reader 3 differed from Reader 1 in 1 out of 44 patients for assessment of metabolic response. In terms of assessment of major pathologic response, all PET MRI metrics, that is complete metabolic response, relative change in SUV mass, and relative change in SUV GIOC, were significantly different between pathologic responders and non-responders. A cutoff values of decrease in 64% in SUV mass and SUV GIOC provided the best sensitivity and specificity for predicting pathologic response. Both CT ratios and change in tumor volume were also significantly different between pathologic responders and non-responders. A cutoff value of decrease in 85% in tumor volume provided the best sensitivity and specificity for predicting pathologic response. CT testing features did not show differences between pathologic responders and non-responders. Here, 99 also did not show differences between pathologic responders and non-responders. This figure shows the AUCs for the ROC curves for the significant PET MRI and the CT variables. The AUCs for the PET MRI variables range from 0.75 to 0.87 for complete metabolic response, change in SUV mass, and change in SUV GIOC. The AUC for RECIST was 0.71 and the change in tumor volume was 0.86. We also performed bivariable analysis, and bivariable models combining these metrics had higher AUC than individual metrics. The bivariable models derived from PET MRI, combining the qualitative and the quantitative features, had AUCs of 0.83 to 0.87. A bivariable model derived from CT RECIST and change in tumor volume had an AUC of 0.87. Coming to survival analysis, major pathologic response was significantly associated with overall survival. All 19 patients with major pathologic response were alive at last follow-up. Patients with limited pathologic response after NOT did not have a similar survival benefit after surgery. Complete metabolic response, relative change in SUV mass, relative change in SUV GIOC, and RECIST correlated with overall survival. However, relative change in tumor volume did not correlate with survival. This is an example of a patient who had an intensely FDG avid tumor at baseline. After treatment, there is complete metabolic response. There is a change in SUV mass and SUV GIOC of greater than 70%. The tumor volume also reduced by minus 96% after treatment. There is also normalization of CA19-9. The PET MRI, CT, and CA19-9 all suggested major pathologic response. The final pathology score was GAP1, suggestive of major pathologic response. On the other hand, in this patient with intense FDG avid tumor at baseline, the tumor continues to show FDG uptake even after treatment. The change in HGV mass and HGV GUC was only about 14 to 15%. The change in tumor volume was only about 28%. The patient did not have elevated CA19-9 at baseline, and therefore CA19-9 could not be used for response assessment. The final pathology showed a CAF score of 2, suggestive of limited pathologic response. So, metrics derived from FDG PET MRI and CT could predict major pathologic response and overall survival. So in terms of clinical implications, in a patient who does not have complete metabolic response or a threshold decline in HCV mass or HCV GUC on post-treatment imaging, is unlikely to have major pathologic response on surgery. In these patients, these non-invasive tumor metrics could facilitate an informed discussion about the potentially equivocal long-term benefit from surgery. If the tumor metrics indicate a higher likelihood of major pathologic response prior to surgery, this information may be used to guide management and optimize the outcomes of these patients, and they could probably be offered surgery sooner and be offered a longer consequent benefit of surgery. We intentionally did not include ADC metrics from MRI for analysis because of the known inter-observer variability in ADC, especially in pancreatic cancer, which are often ill-defined at baseline. Likewise, we did not perform a qualitative evaluation of DWI because this can be quite challenging on post-treatment MRI in the presence of biliary stents and bowel gas. The high interreader agreement for PET MRI-based metrics may also facilitate easier translation to clinical practice. To conclude, unlike CA19-9, metabolic metrics from PET MRI and morphologic metrics from CT may help assess pathologic response to NAD, as well as predict survival. Larger prospective studies are needed to validate these findings and to study the potential impact of these emerging metrics on the clinical management and outcomes for patients with pancreatic cancer receiving emerging therapeutic interventions. Thank you.